Welcome back. It's time for week 6 of the shogi ladder. My opponent in the this is the teaching ladder. I'm playing in 3 tournaments at the moment. I get confused every time I try to introduce one of these things because I think I'm playing the other 2 tournaments. But no, to play in this thing, this is actually managed by 81 Dojo, and I just select I'm going to wait in the tournament room for my opponent, grolich. I hope I'm saying his name right. If I'm not, I hope he forgives me and I can learn how to do better. Yeah, very good. Alright. Good luck. Alright, this should be interesting. So I spent some time studying openings yesterday, off stream. And while I might not be able to execute everything I observed, we can at least make an effort. So that's the plan, is to try. So I think I have some idea what opening I'll be playing. And if I stay true to form, that opening's going to be a swinging rook opening, like I always play. I have not fully committed to second file or like opposing rook just yet. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do opposing rook. This is gonna be good. Yeah, I was considering throwing in this center file pawn as well as these other 2 pawns, although this is kind of strange. Especially as Gota. I know it looks like my pieces are dark, but I'm playing second. That's just a user style that I apply here. But yeah, so we're going to attempt to follow instructions from about openings that I had watched. I had looked at resources that were shared in Shogi Harbor Discord. I forget if this was Time Zombie or somebody else who offered it. I apologize. Like, I just woke up. So I might how do you say misattribute? Misattribute? Anyway, I might give the wrong person credit, but I thought... No, it wasn't Time Zombie. Who was it who shared that? I'll have to fix that later in like the notes that I put with this episode. And credit whoever actually did share. Maybe it was Abigail. Yeah, it must have been Abigail, who went through the trouble of transcribing some kifu from games that were as part of a lesson. And so I watched that, and then I took some advice about searching for this I Fribisha. In searching for that, I learned about 4 different types of castles. So there's the Mino, half Mino thing. There's Anaguma. You could try to do Yagra against Ifuribisha, but it's not going to work. You're never going to have time to build it. And there was one other castle. But yeah, here I'm playing against a static rook. So none of that I was just talking about applies. What does have my curiosity is which castle I'm going to pick here. I haven't fully committed to Mino yet. I could switch to Anaguma. But Anaguma has problems in that you're just waiting for your opponent to attack and then hoping that your counterattack will be strong. Whereas like here, My opponent has vacated the left side of the board. It might behoove me to find an attack there. So I don't know if they do intend to push a little further. Maybe I will try to harden my castle and just wait for an attack. I know typically with Anaguma, the move orders, you push the silver first, and then you push the gold and or the pawn next. So here, this is kind of begging for, does he want to push his pawn again? And if so, maybe then I turtle into the corner and just wait for the attack and trust that I can counterattack later. Alternatively, if I have time to build Mino, I should just do that. Because it's strong against side attacks, and clearly my opponent is attacking from the side. Yesterday there were also some variations where the fourth file pawn did get pushed. In the video I was viewing and the keyfire we're looking at, here that doesn't look so purposeful because there are two generals covering this fourth file. I might be able to push this third file pawn, but that's not going to be easy. But it's much easier for me to just oppose on the eighth file where there's nothing fighting back. So, that all said, I have to pick, am I going to turtle into the corner and just wait? Or am I going to try something a little more aggressive? But the timing seems right for me to build a castle like Anaguma. The timing doesn't seem right for me to build Mino and then launch an attack. And he's built a really firm castle too. Yeah, we're going to try this. We're just going to harden this extremely and trust that I can hold the fort long enough to build the castle. And yeah, I'm going to have 3 pieces covering this square. I think I'll be fine. And I'll be able to launch a counterattack. Because, yeah, building Mino against this boat with the silver just sitting there, it really doesn't look like I get many chances for an attack. Like, this is clearly, I don't know, very strong structure. And I don't see many of these generals moving around anytime soon. The silver could move, but to where? Yeah, that's not where my king is, though. If the plan is to stop me from breaking on the 8th file, I don't know if this actually succeeds with that kind of aim in mind. Oh, the aim might be just to undermine this pawn and let the bishop in. maybe I am forced to break now. Um, that's interesting. If I try to firm up my castle, they push, I take, silver takes. They're intending a pawn drop, and I don't have a hard counter for that. If I push this pawn, if we exchange bishops, I'm supporting my pawn in the center. If he pushes this, I could push this. That might be the right timing. Then he pushes, and well, I don't know. Like, no, my problem is that the silver can only do so much. Okay, I need to harden this castle. I don't really have a choice about that. Like, this gold hangs if I do reckless stuff. I can't do reckless stuff right now. I can't break on this file. I can break now, but previously this would be a mistake to try to open the file. Of course, at this point, it's not as good to open things. I admit I am confused. I could just continue building my castle. Um, this way, even if things really go south, I'm not dropping all my gold. But, yeah, I think my last two moves might be mistimed, and maybe I should have just broken on one of these files already. Okay, I think we're back into Joseki somehow. Um, Hang on. If I push this pawn, what's going to happen? A couple possibilities. One's they exchange bishops, and then I take, and then knight takes, silver takes, and I have a bishop and knight in hand. And they've won a pawn, but my bishop dropped, they protect the lance. I don't know what I do with a knight drop. That looks dangerous. Right, if I push this edge pawn and then I push again, what's going to happen? Like, obviously they're intending knight over to attack my king. Yeah, I want a rook exchange. I don't want a bishop exchange. Okay, the craziest idea would be sack the pawn and then try to trade bishops, but this just allows them to promote, which is extremely dangerous. Man, that Nifu rule ruins all of my variations. I know I don't want a bishop exchange, but is it terrible? I'm not sure. We're going to try to get a rook exchange, and it's not going to work, but we'll try it. Of course, after playing this, I forget in shogi you don't have to do captures. Captures are optional. But, I mean, it's a free pawn, so why not take it? Aside from the fact that I just spent a ton of time looking at this and might have a threat, but I don't. Like, my best threat, I suppose, is for me to sack my bishop for this silver and then start taking stuff, but, like, even dropping the silver here doesn't result in me taking a lot of stuff. So that's not a very good threat. Okay, so I'm curious now if I push this pawn, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop drop. Stuff happens. You know, at some point I have to stop being curious. Starting to get in time pressure. We're going to play something. And we're going to be curious by seeing moves on the board. This is beyond my ability to calculate. And I have the excuse of being down on time. But also I'm just, like, I don't know what more to look at. I've read everything I can. I haven't read the things that I cannot read. And I just don't know what my intuition should direct me to even start looking at here. So, yeah, I've attacks in various spaces here. If I exchange knights, I don't have a fork. If I take this pawn, they promote, and that wins a piece. So I think I have to take this knight. So I wanted to counter on this second file. This is called opposing rook. I am attempting to oppose the rook. But also, like, a bishop drop might be painful. Okay. After the first 1,000 games like this, you think I'd start to see such ideas. Yeah, so this threatens to promote the pawn. Technically, a knight could guard this square. You'd never want to do that, but it could be possible. I could promote my bishop now. It's probably far more reasonable than try. Well, if I make no effort to defend, then he just overruns my position. But also, if I try to defend, like, he's going to kick my rook. I could drop back. I could maybe hold this square for a little bit. That's disgusting, but we can do it. And the aim here is to get a rook exchange before he promotes. I don't want to concede this file if I'm trying to oppose this file. So, right, if my goal is to take the file, like, maybe, I don't know, anything I could do to attack this, he can still defend it. I'm not sure. Oh, actually, my bishop, my silver could have gone back to try to defend this. I didn't have to plunk my knight on my back rank against my will. Interesting. I'm so confused. Have I missed some grave threat here? Not that I see. So I'm still missing it. If bishop drops, like the bishop doesn't cover this square. You could drop a knight to try to cover this, or it could do silver takes or something. Yeah, I'm not seeing the problem. We'll see it soon, but I'm not seeing it right now. No, I should start focusing on, like, here's a weakness. Are there other weaknesses? Not really. It's kind of difficult to attack this castle from the side. Oh, that's a good fork. I see now. And the threat is to place a knight here to win the rook. Now I see it. Okay, what do we do? Do I sack my lance to force an exchange? Maybe. Do I sack the lance on 5-5? That looks crazy. Yeah, the lance on 5-5 would only gain me a tempo, and I wouldn't have anything useful to do with the tempo. This is disgusting, again. But this gives my rook somewhere active to go to. An active rook is not nothing. Alright, so my target is here. And I don't have a clear way to destroy it, but yeah, I do want to promote my rook. Okay. It's a defensive move. That is certainly a defensive move. Dropping my silver on the edge looks crazy. I'm almost unwilling to do it. Almost. Like, there are two reasons this is super useful. Despite everything else that's terrible about it. This stops immediate promotion and holds the promotion square and tries to force this rook off the file. It's not the first choice of where I would put a silver, but it could actually be quite useful there. I would much rather drop it in a way that attacks this pawn and allows my rook to promote, but my opponent's got this file very heavily covered. There's nothing I can do there. I have this square covered already. I don't understand why. What's the aim of this move?
30秒
Other than to provoke me to move the pawn, which I want to do.
40秒
I don't understand. There were other places that rook could have gone. This just provokes me to move my pawn forward in a square that makes it easier to strike the bishop.
,30秒 ,40秒 ,50秒 ,1、2、3、4、5、6
I'm having 1,000 thoughts right now. It's pretty difficult to keep them all straight. But this is the way that a Zerg plays, is like, if you're calling Anaguma the Zerg Rush, Zerg has to keep track of all the forces on the entire board at all times. This is, I mean, that's the nature of StarCraft, but especially with Zerg. It's just so fluid the way they move. So, yeah, there's a lot of potential in this position, but in terms of what's actually going to come of it, who knows?
,30秒 ,40秒 ,50秒 ,1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9
I have no idea what to do. It is very tempting to lash out and do something, but I'm not seeing any reward to lashing out.
これより秒読みに入ります。 30秒 40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4、5、6
I'm starting to have some sort of idea. It's quite unusual for the silver to climb out this aggressively, but there are targets right here. So
30秒
let's not forget that. And the silver can retreat if it has to.
40秒 50秒 1、2
My king is actually going to make a run for it out of the anaguma. That's just because this attack is so strange. Like, I get that this edge file is Anaguma's primary weakness, and the other weakness is the back rank. And my opponent is doing nothing to attack my back rank.
30秒
That's the way I need to go.
40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4、5
Do I do silver takes or knight takes? Well, both lose a tempo. One probably loses the king. Yeah, this is forced to give my king time to evacuate. Then again, if I put up a strong enough wall here, maybe I don't need to evacuate. I was considering dropping a pawn right there. I think this attack failed. There was a lot of force that went into it, but I think this wasn't the front where the battle was actually happening.
30秒 40秒
The key problem here is that I can rook fork to pick off the lance. So,
50秒
that's a bit of a problem.
3
Right. So, yeah, they continue this attack. It makes sense to continue. But it just... I don't think there's enough force to pull it off. Maybe I underestimated this.
,30秒
Okay, so that's a lateral attack. I think I need a lateral defense. And thankfully I seem to have one. This reminds me of that, what was it? The Japanese word game, where you have to start your word with the end of somebody else's word. It's not Torigori or something. I don't remember the exact name of it, but I feel like here, this is that same concept. That lateral attack, lateral defense, diagonal attack, diagonal defense.
30秒
Like, every particular attack has some sort of defense that's appropriate for it.
40秒
I might be overpowered or I might not, but I have to just keep picking the right combinations of moves here.
50秒
So, like, he can continue dropping pawns until I do lance takes, and then he moves his knight forward. This is his key idea.
,30秒 ,40秒
And when the knight moves up, then the king fights. I guess then he drops a pawn, my lance takes, he drops another pawn, and I just run away. Oh, I have a pawn. Oh, but that would be Nifu if I were to use this pawn. Like, yes, that would be a very hard castle, but it would also be illegal.
40秒
Oh, if I run from the corner, he can silver drop in the corner. And I have to accept that I'm giving up a
50秒
lance.
1 2 3 4
I missed that he had knight drop, as opposed to moving his knight. I think that's fine. Oh gosh, I want to run. I need to run. It's not a question of wanting, it's a question of needing. And if the silver goes in the corner, I need to run. Like, yeah, I could maybe gain a tempo by playing king 9-8 or whatever this is. King 9-2. Maybe I could gain a tempo that way because the silver drop in the corner would not be check. But potentially that's quite
30
lethal.
秒
This is... I need to run away from this attack before it consumes my king.
40両
And yeah, the only way he can really intensify this attack is by continuing to take pieces and sack stuff.
50秒1、2、3、4、5、6
Alright, so if I take, he has lance drop, and I'm giving the knight back. If I run away, I'm saving a tempo on that. But then the lance, yeah, I'm saving a tempo. This knight checks me.
30秒
What's his next attack? I'm not seeing it. His knight moves to attack my knight.
40秒
It's slow.
50秒1、2
That's shameful. Shameful on my part, that is. Then again... Oh, I'm sorry, I missed pawn drop. Yes, I'm accelerating his attack by taking that, because I missed the pawn drop. Pawn drop does take a move, but a token is a nice piece to have. I could have slowed down this promotion by keeping my knight back
30
here
秒
and waiting for them to bring their knight up and take my knight or something.
$40 秒 50秒1、2、3
Right. And this is why I was saying I need to run and get my king out of here. So, without further ado, let's execute that plan. And now how do I attack?
$30 秒
Let's line this up with the king. That can't be terrible. It's hideous because I'm blocking my horse, but it's active, so. Right. I missed that.
$30 秒 $40 秒
It would be useful if I didn't freak out every time one of my pieces got attacked.
30秒
Curious. Curious for many reasons. So, um,
,30 秒 ,40 秒 ,50 秒 ,1、2、30秒
okay, I could actually use this lance. I could use a great many things here, but a lance is one of them. So
30
I'm
秒
almost certain he's compelled to capture my silver. Almost certain.
,40 秒
Because my lance drop on 2-4 would be devastating. But also I want to take this gold. So I might lance drop
50
here
秒
instead.
1、2、3、4
Right, so I thought that was forced. I mean, this looks childish, but like his ability to drop lance on 5-1 means that if I drop something heavier, I might not be willing to exchange. And if I don't exchange, this horse takes even longer to get out of the corner. So I am willing to start exchanging stuff. Preferably stuff that's not going to kill my king.
30秒 ,40 秒 ,50 秒 ,1、2、3、4、5
I missed that that could just run away. Interesting. Hmm.
,30 秒
They say that this game is a lot about finding moves that both attack and defend. Bishop seems like a piece that could both attack and defend. from whatever game I just said, I meant shogi. Yeah, I think what I said is this game.
30秒
In my mind, I was thinking Go, but no. Go has a similar concept of attack and defense, but yeah, shogi, you need to balance attack with defense. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. Yeah, and this is where things get ugly.
50秒 1、2、3、4、5、6
Because he can also do that. He can also balance attack and defense while my stuff is hanging. I would have really enjoyed to get my rook out on this file and start attacking with it, but that's not in the cards right now. Okay, I think I have to capture this lance. If nothing else, I get 2 pieces for my gold. And something of an attack. And a lance is actually something of a useful piece right now, too. Yeah, this lance is my target. It's probably going to move, but also this pawn is a target. Okay. Didn't expect to get a gold so soon.
,30秒
If my opponent's offering a gold, I would like to see where their king is going to be.
,30秒 ,40秒 ,50秒 ,1、2、3、4、5
And maybe my attack is just extremely misguided. I am having second thoughts right now. I'm definitely having second thoughts because nothing about this is well thought out.
30秒
This could be a painful game.
40秒
No, I'm pretty sure silver drop does just defeat my attack.
50秒 ,1、2、3 30秒 40秒 50秒 1、2、3
Yeah, getting him to move the pawn is what I'm hoping for. Whether I should be hoping for that's a different matter, but that is what I'm hoping for. Yeah, this back rank check idea he has is very strong. So I have to run. Like, I am fully convinced my king does not survive against a rook and a knight and a silver and a toki and a bunch of other stuff that's about to strike. Oh! Oh, that's clever. Alright. That gains a move on everything I was just calculating. Interesting.
30秒 40秒
Wow. That is strong.
50秒 1、2、3、4、5、6、7
That's a strong attack he's got there.
30秒 40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4、5、6
Yeah, I don't see any way to hold this. Yeah, wow, what a game. Okay, let's see what comments we have to share about this. Yeah. Wow. So, I think there were moments in that game, I really don't know where. Oh, until my silver drop. I'm curious where that happened, giving the green light to attack. I'm trying to remember. This happened somewhere. On the other... Oh! I thought I was already in trouble. But yeah, whenever that happened, it made sense for him to attack toward my king. I forget exactly where that silver... Yeah, this thing. see. Yeah, having an extra silver is definitely... I thought if you promoted, I was losing a rook. So, like, this sort of thing. So there was stuff like here and there. Definitely a tricky position. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I lost the thread. Yeah, I don't know what to say about the attack. Like, I thought it would be more severe than it ended up being. Somehow I thought I could survive the attack and even run my king, which is a bit crazy, but it looked okay. I don't know. It's a bit, I guess, unusual rather than crazy. I don't know. Used to crushing... yeah, other servers, they have some very tactical shogi. Here, I'm accustomed to just taking pieces, and once I've taken enough pieces, if I survive their attack, I just start attacking. Alright, you thought 32 silver 5-4 made some sense. Just climb this silver. So I'm wondering, yeah, did I miss something back here, maybe? 32 silver 5-4. Yeah. Yeah, it's reasonable. Just anaguma is complicated. As long as I have some chances, I'm happy. You're saying 34 silver 6-5 seemed a serious threat. Yeah, I struggled to evaluate it. Like, here I guess I expected this knight to move, and I didn't really know how this would go. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. I just couldn't find a next idea. I guess if I try... Oh, this! This is nice. This never occurs to me. That a silver could support a pawn, or a pawn could support a silver, or both could happen in pursuit of some other objective. Yeah, just take some space. And yeah, that makes sense. And then I could try something like this. I forgot I have this at my disposal, so I'm not trapped forever. Yeah, that's kind of cool. second. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Fill my glass. I've refilled my 3-cup glass of water. It's just a really large glass. Okay. Yeah, this is complex and interesting. Let's see. It's really hard to play if your opponent has a lance in hand. Expect them to play a lance 9-8 first and win. Also, the line the guy played, you struggle with. Or we've played, this seems a bit weird. You think you would play pawn 5-5. Interesting. Oh yeah. Yeah, we could play the 4 general. Yeah, that could be interesting. This is complex, but as long as I'm surviving and having some chances, like, I'm okay with whatever results here. Also, I wonder, like, I have a penchant for the crazy, but it's too early. Like, I need to get my rook active before I start sacking stuff. Otherwise, I would consider sacking this silver in pursuit of just kicking the bishop away. Yeah. Looks solid for both players, although you control more space. Yeah. Bishop taking the lance on 1-9 ended up... Yeah, I never used the bishop again, and part of the problem was I plunked my rook right in front of it, and then never moved the rook. Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday I lost 4 games in the first 40 or so moves. So I was looking forward to a long game today. Yeah. I got... yesterday was pretty bad. Ah, yes. Multivariant stockfish. Yeah. Collaboration with Fabian Victor. Yeah. Yeah, Fabian's done a lot more stuff with all these other variants. He's went off and made his own fork because I started trying to optimize my fork for performance for everything Lichess does. And I was starting to delete code, and that was not very fun in his perspective. And he was able to do a lot of creative stuff in his fork, so that's good. Game search and AI was what you invented in most of the university. Oh wow. It's cool to have those opportunities, especially at university where you can collaborate with other students. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, tooling for NN software has considerably improved. Oh, and the hardware too. Yeah. Yeah, it's an unfortunate timing, but then again, if you're studying like computer science or something, your object isn't necessarily to provide practical results, although it's good to provide impressive results. It's just hard, and it's becoming more practical now. Yeah, I see that the SF maintainers are interested in merging NNUE into the main branch. Now we're getting super technical, but yeah. That should be fascinating, since I think many people who use engines will be interested in tuning these values. Yeah. And yeah, I haven't even put out the announcement yet, but like for multivariant stockfish, I just have one computer. If people want to tune this stuff and submit their patches to me, that'll be awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I remember LC0 took a while to gain acceptance, but boy is it strong. Yeah, definitely. Wow, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. This is really cool. Well, of course he does. Like, he studied this at the university. So it makes sense that he's got a hobby and a strong interest in this. So, yeah, while I'm just pursuing watching all that as a hobby, and I'm like, I don't have the hardware or the wherewithal to do it, like, yeah, I do find it curious from an academic perspective. Um, yeah, we'll see. My curiosity is about open source developments which can help players. I've started contributing to play shogi. Let's see. Kaufman. Oh! I hadn't heard. Wow, that's cool. Kristallweisen. Has anybody heard about this thing? I'll have to take a look. And also have to put this into my Discord. Because, yeah, as fun as it is for people to watch all the commit messages come across, whatever. Seems about as strong as the other neural network engines, more 2 or 3 seconds per move. But it's in handicap shogi. It makes sense that conventional engines are not necessarily great at generic problems. Wow. Very nice. To have just a reasonable chance against that one, you need to have rook and bishop. Yeah. I'm curious what will eventually happen. We'll find conventional engines which don't need NN, which achieve the same goal if trained against the NN engines. Yeah. It is... Oh. I had heard of something similar months ago, but didn't recall the author or name. Yeah, no, that's right. There is such a shogi engine out there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, sorry I'm nerding out all over the place about this, but, like, this game was confusing. I think we identified the first critical point, and anaguma, in general, is kind of difficult to analyze. But I preferred this because he built a boat, and he was, like, not playing as aggressively as possible, so I thought I'd have time to build this. I think I was right, I just didn't follow things up right. It plays on leechess.org. Yep. Yeah. Oh, Spinal finally did it. Got to 3 Dan on Shogi Wars. Congratulations, Spinal. Spinal tap chess. Well done. Yep. Thanks for the game. And interesting discussion. Yeah. Like, it's great to talk with experts in the field, and he's certainly an expert, and I'm learning stuff from him too, so yeah. Very nice. Alright, see you around. Cool. Yeah, I might poke around at this a little bit more. I would rescale the board, but doing so tends to break the interface, so we're going to have to leave the board at this aspect ratio for now. I don't think I had any great revelations here. I really didn't want to drop the knight. I missed this. Like, this is the one thing I regretted. But it's probably not that great. I don't know. This is complicated. If stuff gets exchanged, that's one thing, but he doesn't have to move the silver even. He could just do this. And then, assuming I'm trying to defend this square and stop the promotion, I go back here, and they promote anyway. That's why I dropped the silver. I'm sorry, that's why I dropped the knight in this case, to try to stop this promotion. Because otherwise we get this capture, Um, and yeah, this is just a disaster. So this was my rationale. His attack is too quick there. But I think you all are right about the other stuff I could have tried this game. And maybe as a practical matter, even though this is just absolutely crushing, if I ignore that, and if my opponent's ignoring it, maybe I should do what I was considering here. I just didn't see any way to even remotely make this work. Oh, I'm sorry, my concern was if I drop here, targeting this pawn, like, lance to the face. That's not very pleasant. Yeah, so I think I just messed up earlier on. It's not very easy to recover from that. And while there were probably some endgame chances, I'm never going to get the same exact endgame again. Wait, why? I didn't even consider this move. It's probably not good, but I should consider it. Even if it's bad, like, it's worth at least looking at. Why did I not consider this? This is probably my biggest whiff of the game. Well, no, they have this. This could be worse. Yeah. No. Okay, fine. Whatever. What I did was fine. Maybe my pawn drop was stupid. But, like, this position's getting desperate, if it isn't already. This might have been my best chance to run. Just let them take my silver. But yeah, I'm kind of doomed, because my rook is not active, and my horse is still in the corner with nowhere good to go. Alright, well that was an interesting game. It really was. And yeah, I think our lesson here is that I did play okay. I missed some key ideas. Yeah, so in general, this sort of thing is something I should consider. And I did think about it, but evidently not enough. I don't know. It's tricky. Wait, if my opponent is playing this way and their silver's all the way back here, is this my chance? Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't look so great either. So I could build Mino, but we still have the same problems we had in the game. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. Historically, I've played fourth file rook. I guess... So I'm so confused. I guess what I'm most confused about is, so he's taken most of these squares on the file, and I don't have a way to contest this. Like, if I play here, and if I try to advance my rook, it's not advancing. And there's no way I can force my rook through. And if I try to do this, I thought this was terrible because I misread this. That's what's bothering me. Okay. I was afraid he could promote when I did the one and only thing that stops the promotion. I was afraid of nothing. This is a ghost here. Like, this position's unpleasant, but it's definitely playable. Also, this is probably mistimed. Like, I don't have any continuation, but I should probably build a castle before starting to open the position. Moving my gold. Yeah. This is the beginning of my confusion. If I'd just gone directly for this, maybe I would have been less confused this game. And I'd remember that my rook can move. Well, that's an interesting game. Could have gone better, could have gone worse.